Well, hello there, Twitch. Hey, I hope everybody's doing well right now. Looks like my music's going. Perfect. Let's see, is anybody there? I don't see anybody in chat yet. I know this is kind of an unusual time for me to be on. Normally, I stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 p.m. Pacific time. But that's during the school year when I teach, and I am not teaching right now. The school year actually ended at the June 12th, and then had like an outdoor ed camp for a couple of weeks, 3 weeks to be exact. Just finished up last week, so now I've got a lot more time for streaming, so you'll be seeing a lot more of me. Hey, yes, I have my life. Hey, so good to see you. So glad that you're here. What's up, what's up? How you doing? It's good to see you, man. Yeah, and do you see that new subscription badge right there? I just finished those last night. Pretty excited about those. Hey, Lordy, how you doing? Oh, Elaine Dunn, you're here too? So good to see you. Hey, thanks for the cheer, holy cow. Hey, how you been? I hope you had a good 4th. Hope you've been staying safe and sane. Yeah, I'm so glad to see you back. Hey, Turtles and Chill is here. Hey, Turtles and Chill, good to see you. Yeah, notice that looks great? Thank you very much, I appreciate that. Yeah. Oh, Glowy95 is back too. Hey, so good to see you. Awesome for the science emotes. Check out the emotes too. I should have a new one that's all ready to go right there. See if you can find that. Kind of a simple one, but it's meaningful to me. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. Yeah, that is the Wonkel Rex. That is the Tyrannosaurus specimen that was discovered in eastern Montana back in. Dug up in 1990, I think, by Jack Horner's crew. Hey, Super Megalosaurus is here too. Hey, so good to see you. But, well, it's definitely great to have a few days off. What about you? Same here. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Oh, I love it. Cool. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I had a pretty good weekend. Really good weekend, actually. On my first day off from teaching, I went and bought a bicycle. So I've got a bike now. Don't just have to walk everywhere, which is really nice, or take public transit. So that was pretty awesome. Took that out for a ride this morning, went to the beach. It's pretty great. Yeah, got myself a nice road bike. This is the first bicycle I've ever had that is actually like properly fitted to me. It's the right size, and doesn't weigh 70 pounds, which is really nice too. Take it onto the train really easily. So, hey, TGD8412. What up, Danny? Long time. Hey, good to see you. Hey, I think, didn't you just follow the other day? So you say long time. Do I know you in real life? Huh. TGD 8412. I'm sure I recognize those initials. It's cool. Where do you live? Where you don't have a vehicle? I live in the San Francisco Bay Area. Yeah, I'm streaming to you from Oakland, California right now. And I really love where I live. It's a great spot. And I don't have to have a car, which is pretty nice. I sold mine right before I left Montana, and it was a good feeling. I used to sell cars. I used to work kind of, in an auxiliary position in the automotive industry, and it got old pretty fast. So I really like not having a car. I can imagine life without my truck. What kind of truck you got? Yeah. So I used to have a 1988 Suzuki Samurai. It's probably my favorite car that I've ever owned. Almost like a Jeep, but like smaller and more reliable. And then I had an FJ Cruiser, Toyota. That was fantastic. Oh, you're on the 2011 field crew. Gotcha. Okay, wait. TGD. I'm running through my roster of people. Did you help dig up Yoshi's trike? What did we do that summer? It was Yoshi's trike and a little bit of Cliffhanger trike. 2002 Dodge Ram 2500. Wow. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, 2002. It's probably getting up there then. Yeah. Yeah, and Cliffhanger? Nice. All right. Hey, so glad to see you here. That's awesome. Cool. We're going to be working on some fossil stuff today. So I'm really glad that you're here. Yeah, I'm still trying to think of. I totally understand if you don't want to give your first name TGD, but trying to figure out. Anybody's gonna start with T? Oh, Thomas. Hey, how you doing, Thomas? Cool. Anyhow, yeah. Let's see here. Could you play Was Not Was, Walk the Dinosaur? JKF, I could, but I don't want to get copyright stricken. Maybe in a little bit, we'll see. How's my my music levels doing, by the way? Are they okay? Let me know if the music's too loud, if it's just right. Go ahead and make some adjustments here before we get started. A little loud? Thank you, Lord D. 65%. 58. How's that? Is that better? Yeah. Sounds good to me? Perfect. Thank you. Appreciate the feedback. Oh, I have been getting up to all kinds of stuff lately. Got that new PC built with iOS. She was tremendously helpful with that. She actually did most of the work. And I haven't actually set it up with all my programs yet, but tonight, hopefully, I'm going to do that. And maybe it'll be ready by tomorrow. We'll see. I'm going to try and stream every day this week, Monday through Friday. So that's going to be pretty neat. Let's see what we've got on the agenda for today. Look at my outline right here. Let's see. New sub badges and new emote. Excited about that. Got some dinosaur news to talk about. Some like kind of fossil news in general. Pretty exciting stuff. Then I've got my Euplacephalus skull 3D print that I'm going to be assembling here. It's in how many pieces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that makes sense. 6 pieces. It's going to be pretty cool. Oh, Uncle Bill's here. Hey, good to see you. How you doing? Good to see you, Uncle Bill. Just going over my what we're gonna work on today in stream. Yeah, so I'm gonna be assembling that Euplacephalus skull 3D print. We might do some dinosaurs of the day too, depending on how we're feeling. And then I'm gonna continue sculpting an ankylosaur with some digital sculpting software. So it should be pretty neat. Yeah. See. Anyway, everybody, how was your weekend? Anybody have a particularly eventful or interesting 4th of July? For people who are here in the States, if you're not here in the States, I guess 4th of July is just like any other day. But if that's the case, I hope you had a good weekend. Hope you got plenty of rest. Had a pretty good 4th of July. Got some good things done. Spend time with some of my favorite people. So it was pretty good. Let's see here. Where is my dinosaur news? There we go. Oh, this is going to be a cool one. Hey, Drop Bear. Good to see you. G'day, Paleo Pal plus other pals. Koala / or is that a backslash? I can never remember which is which. Weekend, it's just another blur's day to me. I like that. It is all a blur nowadays, isn't it? So you're back in Cali now. I'm still in Boston. Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. I moved back to California in must have been August 2018. It's a pretty good decision. Things have been going pretty well. I'm a teacher nowadays, paying the bills with the teaching. So life is good. Things have been excellent. Lordy, had a great weekend. Had somebody special over for the weekend. Aww. I wonder who that could have been. So glad you're here, Lord D. Let's go ahead and jump into some fossil news right now. Let's see. There we go. First on the agenda, we've got 2 different things to look at. This I just found this morning. This was just released a little while ago. Did adaptive radiations shape reptile evolution? I haven't had a chance to read the paper yet, but it looks pretty interesting. Paper out today in Nature Communications. A research team. Oh, if it's Nature Communications, we might be able to read it. What's the link? It's dumb that they don't seem to have a link in the actual text of the press release. New Actually, that should be highlighted. We should just be able to click it. Topical features. There we go. Okay. We'll switch back and forth between these. In a paper out today in Nature Communications, a research team led by Harvard University It's poor grammar. It wasn't led by the university, it was led by the researchers. Examined the largest available data set of living and extinct major reptile groups to tackle the long-standing question of how adaptive radiations have shaped reptile evolution. They say our findings suggest that the origin of the major reptile groups, both living and extinct, was marked by very fast rates of anatomical change, but that high rates of evolution did not necessarily align with taxonomic diversification. This is a big deal. Okay, let me give you a little bit of background here. Interesting. So with my research and, I guess, for lack of a better word, tutelage at Museum of the Rockies and at Montana State in the Department of Paleontology there, or Department of Earth Sciences. Anyway, yeah, we were kind of on one side of this big debate. It's a debate in evolutionary biology about how new species arise and how they develop, and how, like, what is the major mode of evolution. So there's kind of a prevailing view nowadays that most evolutionary changes occur during speciation events, during what we call cladogenic events. So when you have like a lineage of organisms and it splits, that most evolution takes place when things speciate, when you have new species that arise. And otherwise, things are kind of in stasis. It's an idea called punctuated equilibrium. It kind of came into the fore during the 1980s, and yeah, but the thing is, when you actually look at the fossil record, when you have very fine-scale, pictures of what's going on evolutionarily, it's kind of difficult to find sharp jumps like that when you have a lot of data points. And so this paper apparently is backing up the idea that a lot of change does not necessarily happen when things speciate, but there's changes that happen, what we call anagenetic changes. So when you have one lineage of organisms, and they just continue to change and evolve without actually splitting, speciating into two different species. Yeah. Our findings suggest that the origin of major reptile groups, both living and extinct, was marked by very fast rates of anatomical change, but that high rates of evolution did not necessarily align with taxonomic diversification. Reptiles that evolved similar protective armor like turtles or serpentine bodies like snakes show radically different rates of evolution, indicating the origin of an evolution of a unique body plans is heterogeneous through evolution. Interesting. Our results also show that the origin of snakes is characterized by the fastest rates of anatomical change in the history of reptile evolution. But that this does not coincide with increases in taxonomic diversity, as predicted by adaptive radiations, or high rates of molecular evolution. Interesting. I'm going to have to go back and read the full paper. It's actually right here. Yeah, interesting. Unfortunately, I have to take off. Have to help my friend write an essay. Well, I'm so glad you were here. Yeah. Just wanted to stop by and say hello. Take care for now. You too. I appreciate you stopping in. Yeah, appreciate you subscribing the other day too. You've got that awesome sub badge now. We'll talk about that in a minute as well. But yeah, good luck with the essay, and I'll see you around. Have a great rest of your day. So, the origin of phenotypic diversity among higher clades is one of the most fundamental topics in evolutionary biology. Due to methodological challenges, few studies have assessed rates of evolution and phenotypic disparity across broad scales of time to understand the evolutionary dynamics behind the origin of evolutionary new clades. Okay. Wow, this is right up my alley. Okay. Due to methodological challenges. So I guess because of, they're probably going to talk about how there's not a whole lot of data for this sort of thing. There haven't been a lot of studies looking at how quickly different organisms evolve across broad scales of time. I'm trying to like translate this for you into non-jargon. To understand the evolutionary dynamics, so I guess trying to figure out whether this is linear evolution or branching evolution of new clades. Oi, hey, Amira, good to see you. All right, see you again soon. See you again soon too. Yeah, have a great rest of your day. Thanks for stopping by. We find major chronological gaps between periods of high evolutionary rates, phenotypic and molecular. That's interesting. So phenotypic versus molecular. Phenotypic evolution, this is basically just like different ways to look at evolution. Hey, Amira, thanks for hosting. I appreciate it. Yeah. So for anybody who's tuning into Amira's stream, because she's now hosting me too, we're talking about some new findings that have just been published, and yeah, about like reptile evolution and what's the major mode for how reptiles seem to evolve. Adorable. Oh, thank you. Anyhow, yeah, so molecular versus phenotypic evolution. This is just like different ways to watch evolution, basically. Phenotypic means you're watching things evolve by looking at how their bodies look, basically. So that would be like looking at the fossil record or looking at animals' anatomy and kind of watching that change through time. If you have a big data set from a bunch of different times, you can watch their bodies change. That's phenotypic evolution. It's not a different kind of evolution, it's just a different way of noticing evolution by looking at phenotypes. Phenotypes is like the appearance of different organisms. Versus molecular evolution, which is like looking at their DNA, see how much their DNA has changed. An expansion of phenotypic disparity in reptile evolution. Importantly, many instances of accelerated phenotypic evolution. So many times when different organisms change how they look very quickly, are detected at the origin of major clades and body plans, but not concurrent with previously proposed periods of adaptive radiation. All right, interesting. So they can see different organisms, in this case reptiles, change their bodies really quickly at the origin of major clades and body plans. So like when you have, say, like the beginning of turtles, when turtles first evolve, they seem to change really rapidly, for example. But not concurrent with previously proposed periods of adaptive radiation. So, not necessarily when, I'm guessing they're going to say like after a major extinction event or something like that. Hey, Tectonic! Thank you so much for the follow, I appreciate it. Yeah, good to have you here. We're talking about this new paper that just came out on reptile evolution. Furthermore, strongly heterogenic rates of evolution mark the acquisition of similarly adapted functional types. The origin of snakes is marked by the highest rate of phenotypic evolution in diapsid history. Interesting. So strongly heterogenic rates of evolution. I kind of hate how much jargon there is there, and like how much translation I have to do. But basically, like when the speed of evolution changes through time. So things might evolve really quickly, and then they slow down, and then they speed up again. That's heterogenic rates of evolution. That happens during the acquisition of similarly adapted functional types. Mark the acquisition of similarly adapted functional types. So I guess it's just like adaptation to new niches, maybe? Is that what they're going to say? So like when animals are, like reptiles in this case, are moving into a new environment, they might change really rapidly. The origin of snakes is marked by the highest. Okay, interesting. So they're saying when snakes first evolved, they evolved very, very quickly. They had really rapid changes really fast, which would make sense if they're becoming like fossorial or something like that. If they're changing so they can become better adapted to burrowing. Interesting. I'm gonna download the paper, and I can read this at my leisure. There we go. Cool. I'm excited about that. Because this has implications for, like, what are the major modes of evolution when you have major evolutionary changes happening. I would suspect that they're often anagenetic. You have one lineage of animals that's just changing through time. We seem to see that with dinosaurs an awful lot. So I would be curious to see if that's also reflected in other groups of animals too. Drop Bear's gonna go lurk for a bit as he does various bits and pieces. Nice. Dino dog that popped up. I don't know what you mean, Amir. Dino dog that popped up. Anyway, we had one other item here. This was brand new. Oh, when you hosted. Oh, yeah. My little. What is that? What kind of dog? The corgi in the Stegosaurus costume. Yeah, it's probably OBS Elements. Yeah. I set that up. That picture always makes me happy. It's very goofy. If anybody else wants to see it, go ahead and follow, and should show up right there. It's my little commercial for the moment. You can follow too, and then you can see the dog in the Stegosaurus costume. Alright, here's our other piece of news right here. Dinosaurs may have evolved from a tiny bug slayer. I've not looked at this yet, so I think this is what like gaming streamers might call like a blind thing. I'm saying this for the first time. You're already following Bug Slayer, yeah. What on Earth? New studies suggest a miniaturized origin for some of the largest animals ever to live on Earth. So this is probably like a little Thecodontian, or what we used to call Thecodontians. It's kind of like Dinosauromorph Archosaur probably from like the mid-Triassic. Dinosaurs and flying pterosaurs may be known for their remarkable size, but a newly described species from Madagascar, very interesting Madagascar, that lived around 237 million years ago. That would be about the late part of the mid-Triassic. It suggests that they originated from extremely small ancestors. So the fossil reptile, named Kongonophon keli, or tiny bug slayer. Interesting. I wonder if that's in Malagasy. One of the languages that's spoken in Madagascar. Would have stood just 10 centimeters tall, about 4 inches. Description and analysis of the fossil and its relatives published in PNAS, Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, which is a very highfalutin name for, a journal that can be abbreviated as PNAS. My side neighbors are blasting bass. I hate the sound of bass. I'm sorry. Unless they're blasting bass, like the fish. It's hard to tell because they're spelled the same way. Either way, that doesn't sound pleasant. May help explain the origin of flight in pterosaurs, the presence of fuzz on the skin of both pterosaurs and dinosaurs, and other questions about these charismatic animals. Interesting. Okay. This has been a mystery for a while, like, the feathers that we find on some kinds of dinosaur, including like the proto-feathers, are those the same structure as like the fuzz that we see on pterosaurs, or is it different? I wonder if this is going to help clarify that question and maybe even help solve it. Loud music with lots of bass, 20-year-olds. Tectonic, are you laughing at my joke, my bad joke right there? Dinosaurs and pterosaurs both belong to the group Ornithodyra. Their origins, however, are poorly known, as few specimens from near the root of this lineage have been found. The fossils of Kongonophon were discovered in 1988 in Madagascar by a team of researchers led by the AMNH. Flynn, close collaboration with scientists and students at the University of Antananarivo. That must be in Madagascar. Interesting. Let's see if we can find the paper. It didn't yield anything. I wonder if this is one of those instances in which the press release comes out before the paper. Like somebody had a goof And, yeah, interesting. We might have to return to this tomorrow on our next stream. It's July 6th, which is today. But occasionally that'll happen, where the press release gets sent out before the paper is released. And then, like, you know, some journalist will not really be paying attention, or an editor more likely, and they decide to make it go live before everybody else does. Because I think this is the only place I've seen this in the news. Let's see. Let's do a search. Maybe there'll be a link to the paper. Okay, TOI not found. Yeah. So this probably means that they released this before the paper's actually been released. So we will return to this later. Yes, I was? Okay. I'm glad somebody's laughing at my bad joke, TikTok. Anyway, how you doing? You're new here, right? This is your first time watching this stream, doing some paleontologizing? If it is, I think you're gonna have fun. I'm still very new to this whole streaming thing, but yep, all right, yeah, welcome. Yeah, we do a lot of paleontology content on here. There'll be lots of demonstrations of fossils, looking at dinosaurs in the news. TYVM, thank you very much. Is that what that is? Awesome. Yeah, thank you very much too. Going to be sculpting an ankylosaur later, but before that I'm actually going to be putting together, it's right there behind the camera, a big old 3D print of an ankylosaur skull. It's going to be pretty neat. So, when are we going to do that? Let me check my outline, see what we've got planned. Let's go ahead and do it now. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Scoop my water out of the way. You know, I've got commands now, too. Why don't somebody try exclamation mark command and see if it's working? While I'm getting this set up. Ooh. Oh, neat. Is that you, Lordy? Is Moobot responding to you right now? There we go. Oh, awesome. That's really nifty. Oh. I thought it would give you a list of all the commands, but maybe you've got to click that link. Huh. Anyway, we'll figure it out. That's what we do here. Get my various glues. I've got some Instant Cure super glue. This stuff is fantastic. BSI. Bob Smith Industries, and some Gorilla Glue as well. I'm gonna do kind of a mixture of these in order to get everything to sit properly. Thought it would too. That's not the desired behavior there. Oh, neat. Cool. Yeah, and Tectonic, maybe if you guys ask really nicely, maybe we'll look at some fossils under the microscope too. I haven't actually done that in like a month. And I was thinking of starting that tomorrow. I'd have to dig it out from under a pile of stuff, but something we could do. It's a long block of text. Neat. Alright. Figure out how I want to do this. Maybe we'll start with the back of the skull first. And it would probably be helpful for me to give you some background on this, huh? Yeah. Just a minute. Okay, let me scoot this to the side for now. Yeah, so we're going to be working on a really remarkable animal called Euplacephalus. It's kind of your classic armored dinosaur. Let me find a picture for you real quick. You're probably familiar with Ankylosaurus. A lot of members of the public call it Ankylosaurus. Eupliocephalus is from the same family as Ankylosaurus. Let's see. Here we go. Let me find a particularly good illustration. Let's see. That's a pretty good one. Ooh, that's an excellent one. Look at that. Neato, yeah. It's kind of your classic ankylosaur, armored dinosaur. It's got 4 legs, big barrel-shaped body. It's got an armored head right there, with bony eyelids, no less. And then at the end of its tail, this classic bony club that was probably used as a defensive weapon, presumably against predators. Yeah, and let's take a look at that skull. Oh, whoops. Let's get a scroll over here. There we go. Yeah, look at that head right there. It's basically like a solid fused bone of a box of bone. It's a remarkable piece of anatomy. And that is exactly what we're going to be assembling right now. So let's get to it. Get my keyboard out of the way. Turn on my light here. It's just finished printing yesterday, actually. I have the top of the skull. I don't have the dentaries done yet. One of them's done. I don't have the pre-dentary done. So the lower jaws are going to have to wait. How big was its brain? Not very big, Texonic. For an animal with a pretty big skull, its brain was not that large. Oh, and Moobot's chiming in with the merch store. Yeah, awesome. Cool. I just set that up too. So check that out if you're so inclined. Got some cool logos and stuff on there. Don't have a lot of items yet, but got some new things, and I think they're all on sale. They're like 20 to 30% off for the next couple days. So if you like deals, maybe jump on that right now while you can. Sound like a commercial. Okay. There we go. Let me adjust the lighting a little bit on this. That's better. So we've got these big solid chunks of 3D print right here. And I'm going to show you how they fit together. And this is going to be a pretty decent sized skull once it's done. Like, it's definitely going to be bigger than my skull. This is the largest 3D print I have done as of yet. And pretty excited about it. I got this beautiful kind of copper colored 3D print filament. It's just gorgeous. Wonderful color. Okay, so yeah, we've got the occipital condyle right here. This is the lump at the back of the skull that attaches to the vertebrae. The atlas would attach to that, which is the first vertebra in the neck. So I'm going to be gluing this on just like this. And 3D printing, while it is very precise, it isn't always like precise to a micron thickness or whatever. So we will have to do some sanding and some like auto body filler in here in order to fill some of these gaps and smooth everything out once it's put together. You can also see there's a line along here. There was a hiccup in the power in my apartment complex, and made that jump a little bit. Oh yeah, hey, Ios is here. Yeah, Ios, I sent you a text earlier with the link to that mug that you wanted to see. Got that finished this morning just for you. Anyway, how you doing, Ios? All the Moobot commands look great. Thank you, Ios. Yeah, thank you for your help with that, by the way. Now this print is really coming along. It's almost done. I just have the lower jaw to do. So we're gonna be gluing this part right now today. I'm excited about that. So I am going to use some of this Gorilla Glue clear grip this is going to be kind of our filler glue. This stuff takes kind of a while to set. So I'm going to be using some of this just kind of as, it's kind of our volume glue, because I have a lot of it and it's not particularly expensive. And then we'll use the super glue to hold everything together so that I don't have to like clamp this thing and get it to stay while it sets. I'm going to use one glue to help the other glue. And it is a little bit humid here in this room, so this glue is going to set up quickly. Super glue cyanoacrylate will actually adhere more quickly when there's more moisture in the air. Water acts as an accelerant for it. So we gotta get this lined up pretty fast. Looking good, looking good. Nice, okay. There we are. Trying to feel out like the smooth parts. I can save myself some work later if I get it lined up just about perfectly. We're looking pretty good. I'll have less sanding and less filling to do. Oh, this is excellent. Nice. You can see there's, I don't know if you can really see there on cam, but this is looking a little bit rough. I roughed this up with some sandpaper earlier in order to get everything to stick a little bit better. When you have more of a rough texture rather than just like the smooth, you know, surfaces that you get with 3D printing, when it's a little bit rougher, the glue will adhere better, and it's less likely to fall apart on you. Nice. Cool. See this hole right here? That is the orbit, and there's a hole in there for the ocular nerve to go into the brain. Very nice. Ah, it's so big and chunky. And that is looking great. Get 2-part epoxy if you want really strong glue. I do have 2-part epoxy, yeah. But the thing is, it takes a while to set. I don't need anything super, super strong. I'm more concerned with how quickly it sets if I'm going to be doing it live on stream. But you're absolutely right, JK. JKF. If I just say JK, it sounds like I'm just kidding, which I'm not. You are absolutely right. Next piece. We've got our... Hey, Dr. WD40, thanks for hosting. Appreciate it. Hey, good to see you. Let's see, let me move my mic out of the way here. This is actually going to look like something. There we go. That's the right eye on this creature. There's its cheek spike. Yeah, there's the top of the head. Is it starting to look like something now? Yeah. Classic euplacephalus look. So right now I'm just kind of feeling this out, so I'll know exactly where to hold it. Feel the smooth edge along here. Alright, and I think I can actually use this as a guide. Our street edge. And I'm going to want to turn it this way because the most important part is going to be the top. That's going to be the most difficult to sand. It's really rough along this surface. And if that is misaligned, I'm going to be sorry. Okay, beautiful. I want it just like that. So, kind of taking mental stock of this right now. Trying to remember how it feels. I think this is going to be my guide when I put my finger right here. Yeah, cool. All right, let me remember this. And let's apply some glue. This is going more quickly than I thought it would. Yay, dino stuff! Hope everyone is having a great Monday. I certainly am, Dr. WD40. I hope you are too. I am done with teaching for the year. So I now have like a month when I can do streaming a lot more often. So I'm pretty excited about that. Let's see if I can stream every day this week. Every weekday, at least. Alright. This does not look like the most precise thing in the world when I'm holding the glue in my fist like this. And to be honest, it's not the most precise thing in the world. But that's okay. The stuff, the Gorilla Glue is actually very forgiving. Already, all grades submitted? I'm in early childhood education, actually, so there were no grades to submit, which is really nice. Yeah, and the last 3 weeks were all outdoor education, so we didn't even have a lot of like classroom cleanup or anything to do. It's been pretty easy. So, yeah. Is there any extra credit? I'm so close to an A. Everybody wants an A, you know? I remember there were classes that I took, especially in university, where, you know, on paper I did not do well in the class, but then, like, I actually helped the professor, like, publish a paper or something like that, or, like, I was doing active research related to that topic. I don't know. The grades are like a weird thing, where, like, this kind of arbitrary, I don't know, arbitrary measure of success or learning. Of course, I realize I'm talking to a professor right now, so it's I shouldn't say that too loudly, huh? Oh, sorry, Drop Air. Let's see. Dumb question. I'm sure it's not a dumb question. What's the material used to produce these skeletal knockoffs? They're 3D printed, yeah? Yeah, so I printed this myself. This is PLA material, which is a kind of plastic. Uh-oh, I'm getting distracted here. Shoot. Ah. Okay, well, that's gonna be some extra work later. Darn it. Oh well, you can't win them all. It's tough to like concentrate on this and do a chat at the same time. I hate standardized tests and the stress of needing an A. I know, right? People care more about that than they care about actually reading the material. You can win them all. Okay, Ios. I will win them all in the future, except for this one. I'll take one L. It'll be this one, and it'll be all W's after this. All right, still, man, looking good. There's that eye socket right there, that orbit. Look how deep that is. Little fleck of light in there from. Not even sure where that goes. Yeah, there's the cheek spike. This is kind of the ear spike, which is not actually the ear should be back here. It should be the opening for the ocular nerve. Yeah, neat. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. Thank you, Ios. I appreciate your aggressive optimism. Infraorbital foramen. Yeah, exactly right. The doctor knows what he's talking about. Alright, cool. Awesome. So let's do this side now. We'll stick on our right side the starboard orbital, to use a technical term that we never use in anatomy. Aggressive optimism is my middle name. That's not what I heard, Ios. I know your middle name, but point taken. Alright, just gonna go on just like this. Okay. Alright, chat, don't let me get distracted this time. I gotta do this. I can do this exactly right. I gotta do this for Ios. I do not want to disappoint her. Alright. I'm going to turn it the other way, because like I said, the top is the part that's going to be more important from an aesthetic standpoint. Nobody's going to see the bottom so much as they're going to see the top. There we go. Just like that. Okay, nice. Got a good feel on that. Let's start putting the volume glue on. It's awesome seeing homology with something as small as a little hole for blood vessels and nerves. Absolutely, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, dinosaurs are not that far from us. I mean, we're both tetrapods. There's a lot more homology between us than there would be, like, I don't know, a barnacle or a radish, or something like that. A mushroom. Although there are still common structures, I suppose. Especially with barnacles, because barnacles are actually multicellular animals. Barnacles are kind of crustacean for anybody who didn't know that yet. It's a beautiful sphenoid taking shape, isn't it? Yeah. Very nice. The doctor here with all the technical terms. Digging it. Alright, so now I'm putting on my cyanoacrylate. This is to hold it in place. We don't have to have this thing clamped together for 24 hours. So this will hold it together while the other glue is setting. So I gotta do this quick. Okay. There like this. Man, this stuff sets fast. I can feel it. Feel it heating up already. It's an exothermic reaction. Right there. Very nice. All right. Beautiful. Man, this seam is going to bother me. This one right here, because those are not two pieces joined together. That was done during the print. There was a hiccup in the power, and I think it jogged along the x-axis just like a quarter millimeter or something. Sorry, just nerding out and realizing how much I already know about dinos. You know more than you realize, I'm sure. Yeah. Man, look at that. Okay. This print is so big, I'm like... just need to put the camera further away. Alright, here's the back of the skull. Got the occipital condyle right here. These would be, what, the... parietals up here, I think? Squamosals. Along here. It's tough with ankylosaurs because all the bones are fused together really tightly. Frontals would be over here. Should be the post-frontals back there. Where's the basosphenoid? That might be further down. That might be right here, actually. Yeah, my ankylosaur cranial anatomy is obviously not up to snuff. We will change that as I continue to work on this. Can buff that out. I plan on it, yeah. That's exactly right, Tectonic. Yeah. Nice, okay. And also, because of that that power hiccup there is this step right here. I was thinking of trying to sand this down until it's totally even, but I figured I'd have other problems too, so it's probably not worth the effort. And I didn't want to be inhaling too many plastic particulates, because I don't have a respirator or anything. Hey, Institute! Hey, how you doing? So good to see you. I've been doing really well. I finally got finished with teaching. So, here, let me jump out of this for a second. There we go. Yeah, I finally got finished with teaching just the other day, and so I'm now on summer vacation. I'm gonna try to stream every day this week, every weekday at least. Things are really good. Yeah, I'm enjoying my summer so far, and I've got this beautiful ankylosaur skull that I'm assembling that I 3D printed, just finished printing yesterday. And it took goodness, probably about 120 hours so far on the printer. So this is kind of the culmination of a lot of work. How are you doing, Institute? Long time no see. All right. Let me grab our other pieces, I guess. Holy cow, we've only got 2 left. We've got the right and left snout. That'll be the nasals, the maxillae, the premaxillae, and a bunch of the little bones, vomers and stuff like that up in the roof of the mouth. So right here, this, and this. It's cool. I've been on Twitch for a long time because I'm working on a lot of these. Haven't been on Twitch for a long time because I'm working a lot of the time. Been hired now to sell some science stuff. Oh, awesome! Congratulations on the new job. Fun? Good. I'm really glad to hear that. Selling some science stuff. What kind of science stuff, if you don't mind my asking? You work for like a lab supply company or something like that? I think I remember you mentioning something like that in chat. Racking my brain now, trying to remember what it is. I guess I'm also hiding behind this ankylosaur skull. There we go. So, is this now going to go on there? This is so big, it's barely registering on the camera, like it's all out of focus. Oh man, that is gorgeous.
Fully funding your dig.
Holy cow! Dasornis, thank you so much for subscribing. Jeez. Been subscribed for 2 months. Awesome. Dasornis, you're gonna get the new subscriber badge, I think. Yeah, holy cow. Late today? I'm early today, Dasornis. By about 25 hours. Normally I stream Tuesdays and Thursdays, but now that I'm done teaching, it's going to be every day this week. Every weekday, at least. Like microscopes, binoculars, telescopes, cool. Chemistry stuff, etc. It's more for particulars than companies, but we also provide to schools. Awesome. That sounds really neat. I might be in the market for some new binoculars at some point soon. Yeah. If you can sell directly, like maybe whisper that to me, and 'cause I might be interested. All right, what I'm gonna do with this, I think I want to glue both of the snout pieces together, and then we'll fix that onto the front of the skull. Is today Monday? Today is Monday. Yeah. Yeah. I hope you didn't forget to go to work. I'm all thrown off too, and I probably will be for a while. Because I don't have to teach right now, which is really nice. Quarantine messing me, I know, right? Oh. Anyhow, let me scoot the posterior part of our skull out of the way. Only shipped to Quebec. We're a small store. Well, that's cool though. Mom and pop science shop. It's good to hear that not everybody's been scooped up by these giant conglomerates. All right. Ooh, isn't that nice? It's the beak right there. There's our nares, our nostrils. This is our premaxilla. This is actually what you call the rostrum in ornithischian dinosaurs. It's the beak at the front, and it's all nice and hollow up there. And that's interesting. So we have an opening on one side that is not mirrored on the other. Huh. But I don't think it's even going to be visible. I don't know if that links up to any of our other skull holes. No, that doesn't go anywhere. It's just going to be a hollow and fully encased in bone, or in PLA material, as the case may be today. Should I hide anything in there, chat? What can could I put in there? Some rice, or I could put some rice in order to keep the thing from getting waterlogged. I don't think that really happens with this kind of material, but I don't know. Hi, it's Eli and Leora. Hey, Eli and Leora. So good to see you. What is that piece? It's huge. Well, Desornis, this is the back of the skull of a Euplocephalus dinosaur. And actually, since Eli and Leora just showed up, two of my students, let me show you what I've been working on. It's this dinosaur right here, Euplocephalus, which Eli and Leora, you'll probably recognize this as a plant-eating dinosaur. It's one of the ankylosaurs, one of the armored plant eaters. And we're working on its skull right now. It's got this big, boxy, armored skull. And I didn't quite have enough time to finish this so I could bring it to camp and show you guys. But well, now you get to see it here, which is so cool. I'm so glad you're here, Eli and Leora. Remember it now? Yeah. I know, nice, huh? Yeah. Let's find a few other pictures. Oh, EMS! Hey, so good to see you. Glad you're back. Let's find some other images of Euplocephalus while we're at it. It's kind of tough to find. Ankylosaur dinosaurs are always... Ooh, that's a really nice one. That's a plastic model. That is beautifully done. Huh. Very nice. There's that big, boxy, kind of rounded at the front skull with those spikes. There's the cheek spike, and then the ear spike. And then he's got spikes running down his back. And he's got two particularly large ones right here behind the shoulders. And then it got that classic tail club at the back. Tail club doesn't seem to be shaped quite right. It looks too pointy. But, yeah, good old Euplocephalus. All right, so let me get this put together, and then maybe I'll do a song for Eli and Leora while they're here. Eli and Leora, do you have a song request? Go ahead and type it into chat, and I'll see if we can do that for you. Okay. There. Let's glue these snout pieces together in the meantime. So right now I'm just lining these up. This is going to be one of those critical moments. Feels good like that. I remember where my fingers are. All right, that's about as good as we're going to get, and that's pretty good. Yeah, okay, nice. So let's put our glue on there. Did I print it life size? I did, yes. And I had to split it into 9 pieces in order to get it to fit on the printer. I know, right? Gonna paint it, make it all lifelike. It is gonna be pretty neat, and I'm gonna put it in the background over there. I think I'm gonna mount it up on the wall, maybe in the back corner. Okay, that's looking good. And I don't think I actually need as much super glue as I've been putting on. Cyanoacrylate here. Just putting a few drops in key places. Okay, here we go, chat. This is, Oh, EMS. Yeah, I'm sorry, yeah. Eli and Leora, you are EMS. I forgot. Home on the Range. Excellent. We will sing Home on the Range as soon as I get our Euplocephalus skull all assembled. All right. All right, here goes, chat. Critical moment. And we are looking pretty good. Make sure all of our sutures are nice and smooth. There we go. That feels good. Okay. Just like that. Very nice. Oh, we have an excellent song going on right now, too. Interesting how the reflectivity gets picked up on the webcam different. You can definitely tell these are different pieces. You know what I think that is? Ah, there's some like optics science for you, which I do not know the terminology for, but I can explain the concept at least. When a 3D printer is printing, it's extruding filament in all these little lines, and so you get kind of a pattern there. And on some of these, I had them oriented in different ways. Like with this one, the bottom was... Actually, yeah, it printed out like this. This one was oriented in a different way, though, which is why those are picking up light differently. You can very clearly tell these are different pieces based on how they're reflecting the light. Polarization, maybe? Hey, JP Doozy! Good to see you. I don't know if that's polarization. If somebody wants to Google it, JP Doozy, you're probably ideally situated for that. But it's almost like, let's see. I forget what those are called. Those are like little 3D postcards that you could buy in museum gift shops, where you turn them different ways, and there's like the image will move or whatever. It's kind of like what's going on here. All those little striations are reflecting light. Very nice. Oh man, that is beautiful. Look at those nostrils right there. Beak. These little pits that are for blood vessels to supply supply blood and nutrients to the keratin beak. This beak along here. Gorgeous. What a wide mouth too. This animal was probably not a very choosy feeder. Probably just ate whatever plant material was there. Fresnel lens. Interesting. Huh. Trying to make a homemade spotting scope for about a month now. Oh, cool, Desornis. I bought a spotting scope. You probably heard about this. I was probably talking about it on stream, looking at the peregrine falcons. Yeah, it's been so much fun having that out on the balcony. Do you consider this a mistake, or it's not that bad of a problem? I mean, the fact that it was not printed the same way? No, it's not a problem at all. I'm gonna paint it. So it's all just part of it. Kind of like an interesting artifact. It's worthy of pointing out, kind of chuckling at, but it's certainly not a problem. All right, I feel like that's pretty well together, and very nice. All right, let's. Forgot it will be painted. Oh yeah. Real thing wasn't reflective copper. That'd be cool, and it does look beautiful like this. So I'll enjoy it like this for a little while, and then I'm gonna paint it. Gonna be doing some painting later this week. I finally have time for that now that I'm not teaching. All right, here's the back of the skull. So, ooh, nice. It's so big it like doesn't really show up on the camera. Switch to this view. Look at that. Oh man, yes. That is so cool. Oh, I'm so excited about this. This is also going to be the toughest part, because there's the greatest surface area of different seams. I've really got to practice this before I go for it. How will I paint it? Will it be shiny bone, or will you give it an aged look in some areas? I'm going to try and paint it so it looks just like the original specimen. And I think Euplacephalus, I think the original is from like the Dinosaur Park Formation of Alberta, Canada. Yeah. So I think most of the bones there are kind of like a light brown. They might have kind of a grayish tinge to them. I'll look it up, and we'll look at an original photo. before I go and jump into that song for Eli and Leora. Man, Eli and Leora, take a look at that. If I were to bring this to camp, it would have been like almost as big as my backpack. Look at that. That is enormous. And yes, it is 1-to-1, JP Doozy. I took extra special care to make it life-size, which meant splitting it into 9 different pieces so it could fit on the printer. That took like an hour's worth of work just splitting it up properly. But I think it was worth it, and I hope you agree. Yeah, looks so huge. Yeah, life-size ankylosaur. All right, so I might sand this down right here. Actually, I guess I forgot to sand this surface. And that's screwing me up a little bit. So hang on just a minute. Let me grab my sandpaper. When I was doing all the sanding on this earlier, I made sure to go outside. This is only a little bit, so I'm not going to be getting too much plastic dust everywhere, nor am I going to be breathing it in. Oh, did somebody just follow? Oh, hey! Astro Toshka, thank you so much for the raid. Holy cow! Welcome, raiders.
So you
Hey, let me
dig up dinosaurs?
Hey, thank you for the follow. Who was that? Let's see. Aerodyne Ghost. Thank you so much for the follow. I'll show you what we're working on. Let's see. This is an ankylosaur skull that I 3D printed. It's a dinosaur called Euplacephalus. There's the back of the skull.
So you
Here's the front.
Dig up
And I'm
dinosaurs?
getting ready to glue this on, so that we'll have a full-size ankylosaur skull right there. It's pretty decent size. It's... how would I describe this? As large as a small beach ball? I don't know. What's something that's this size? Help me out, chat. It's definitely bigger than like a watermelon
So you
or a basketball.
Dig up dinosaurs?
So awesome. Thank you, Astro. Yeah. Dinosaurs, yeah. Dude, you're filing that. Do you have ventilation? I don't. But it's only just a little bit of filing. I'll show you the surface that I'm working with. I'd filed everything else, sanded it. It's just this little sliver right here. And I think it's just about done. I need a couple more strokes just to even up that edge. But, yeah. Did you assemble this or 3D print it at once? I 3D printed this in 9 different pieces, because that's the only way it would fit on the printer. I'm printing this thing life-size. And I've been assembling it right now, just gluing it together. With a hodgepodge of different glues. Nice little amalgam of Gorilla Glue Clear Grip. It's kind of my volume glue to fill in all the gaps and everything. And then my Instacure cyanoacrylate to help hold everything in place while the Gorilla Glue sets. So, if you do it, I'd get a mask. I do have a mask right here. I guess I'll put that on real quick. Wonderful print, thank you. Yeah. Girlfriend made me these lovely masks. She knows me well. Got the, one of my favorite colors. You're gonna need this for a couple seconds as I sand this. Let's see. What was that last song? Sounded like a weird version of Smells Like Teen Spirit. That's, I think that's exactly what it was, Kangarooster. Great name, by the way. Yeah.
Dig up dinosaurs?
So thank you so much, Adam Altogether, Kangarooster, for following. I really appreciate it. I'm super new here to Twitch. I just got started back in like mid-May. So this is all brand new to me. I really appreciate any follows willing to throw my way. The mask, same colors, the shirt, wonderful. Yeah, like I said, my girlfriend knows me well. Of course, the mask would be khaki. Yeah. All right. Just sanding this really
Are
quickly.
you doing dig up dinosaur?
Killer Crotch Deluxe, thank you so much for the follow. So if you guys are new here to the stream, which you are, explain, my name is Danny. I'm a dinosaur paleontologist, and I'm a teacher. I actually have two of my students who are here in chat right now. I'm going to sing them a song in just a minute. Break out the ukulele. Sorry, ukulele. Promised my grandfather I would pronounce it correctly. And that's about good. Yeah, do all kinds of paleontology content on here. Edu streams are awesome. ASMR stream. Sanding. Yeah, you can call that ASMR if you want to. We'll stop here. Where do I teach? I teach in San Francisco at this wonderful preschool. I teach kids who are kindergarten age, but they're still in preschool. It's kind of a complicated thing. But they are wonderful and really, really bright. And we've been learning all about fossils for the past year. They've been super into it, and they've been learning a lot. Even did like a big tree of life, so I was teaching them about phylogeny and how all living things on Earth are related. And just finished up with my last day on Thursday. So, let's see. Playlist is still awesome. Thank you, Institute.
Are you doing dig up dinosaur?
See. I don't want gifts followed me. Okay, we will respect your username. Unless you're being sarcastic. Teaching preschoolers about fossils? Absolutely, yeah. They are way sharper than actually some other students that I've taught before. We had a really good group. They're very bright and very curious. They're just like knowledge sponges. Or was that kindergarten when I was young? Sorry, I wasn't teaching back then. No. Joke that my students, as they go into kindergarten, are going to know more about phylogeny and like the history of life than the vast majority of adult Americans. Yeah. All right, let me line this up again because I want to be extra comfortable and confident when I'm putting the snout onto here. And then once that's done, I'll show it off a little bit. And then I can sing Home on the Range to Eli and Leora as they requested. And then we'll get back into some more fossil material. Need to go, I will miss that song. You can watch it in the VOD later. Have a good evening, everybody. And Danny, thanks, Institute. I hope you have a good evening, too. We'll see you next time. I'll be streaming again every weekday this week, hopefully. That's the plan. So, I'll be around. Thanks for stopping by. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, there's gonna be a little bit of a gap there. Tiny, but that's where we've got Bondo. Let's see here. Do I want to do this? I'm trying to figure out how I want to orient this so I can most effectively hold it while it starts to set. And I think I don't want to do it like that because I can't really see the gap. This is one of the weird things about like working on fossil replicas on stream is I need to like have everything within view of the camera. Normally I just like set this down on the carpet. You know what I could use though? Hang on just a second. Let me grab my sandbags. All right. There we go. Yeah, sandbags. It's the key component in any fossil prep lab. Sandbags that help you hold different elements like this. Nice thing about sandbags is they can deform. So you can make them lump up, or you can flatten them, or just make them kind of conform to the shape of the fossil you're working on. Sorry for being such a square, but make sure you have ventilation with Bondo. Absolutely, I do that outside. Yeah. totally right, Killer. Also, a little ironic that somebody with Killer in their username is such a stickler for personal safety. But I'm here for it. I appreciate that. Glad you're looking out for me. As I like rub my beard on the microphone by mistake. All right, put this like this. I'll have these here. There we go. Okay, nice. Now we don't have that wobbling. Let me show you top-down view. Big on safety? As you should be, yeah. Everybody should be big on safety. All right, let's scoot that a little bit. So I've got it safely resting on these sandbags. And I'm gonna try this one more time. Let's see. Let's try to feel exactly where it should be. Yeah, and we're not gonna do the Bondo right now. Killer, we'll do that later. I'll probably do that off stream. Because it requires a lot of concentration so I don't waste the stuff. I've tried doing it on stream and it never seems to go super well. But we might be doing some painting on stream. I might get an airbrush set up with a proper ventilator and all that. Such a big print. How long did it take you? It took about... Goodness, I could calculate how long it was. I think it's about 120, 130 hours. Kind of a lot. In 9 different pieces. And I still have one of the lower jaws and the predentary, which is like the bottom jaw beak to do. But, yeah. King Rooster. I know, yeah. I'm excited about this. Like, printing a life-size Euplacephalus skull. It's a big deal. I'm sure if you were to try and buy a replica of one, it probably costs like $1,000 or more. And I did it for a tiny fraction of that. And I get the joy of actually assembling it and painting it, get that pride of ownership and having actually put it together myself rather than just paying somebody to do it. Make a cast of it and sell concrete lawn ornaments. I could, but I don't know. I'm not here to make money. I'm here to... What am I here to do? I'm here to celebrate how interesting fossils are with everybody here on Twitch. That's what I'm here to do. And this is practice for like future museum jobs and stuff. And okay, are we ready? Donate the proceeds to children for the kids. All right, for science, yes. Okay, here we go. You ready, chat? 3, 2, 1, contact. All right. All looking good. Good over here. Ooh, that's a little off. That's okay. You're dealing with so many pieces. One or two of them are always going to be a little bit off. And that's what we've got the Bondo for. And the sandpaper. Nice. Add them all together. Where's that for science emote from? That's really cool. I was going to ask if you know about TKF, but chat's moving too fast. Oh yeah, I joined TKF this morning. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out Discord and how it all works. Watched my first tutorial video this morning because I knew literally nothing about it. But tomorrow I'm going to be working on that some more, and then I'm going to be setting up my own Discord for Paleontologizing. Excited about that. Oh, and my goodness, look at this. Well, I'll hold it for a few more seconds. So cool. Thank you, Killer. Appreciate it. Also, I can't take credit. Jandra put me Homely Paleo Dude. Put a few of us on. Nice. Yeah, Jandra's been super helpful. They seem pretty cool. All right, nice. Okay. Take a look at this. Wow. Euoplocephalus tutus. This is a classic armored dinosaur, and it's so big that I'm like having trouble showing it off. Like, compare this to the size of my skull. This animal, I think it's about 25 feet long, from head to tail. Head to bony clubbed tail. Oh, Rocket Sage. I gotta check out Rocket Sage's streams. I haven't watched any of his yet. Conjurer's a pro scout. Yeah, really. Nicely made, really. Thank you. Don't want gifts, I would appreciate that. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. And the lower jaw is gonna be done pretty soon as well. I'll attach that. There you go. Beautiful view and profile there. God, this is tough. Yeah, here's the beak at the front. We've got, and here the eye socket, the orbit. There's the spike over the back of the skull. Here's one of the cheek spikes, or jugal spikes, we call them. The underside. This guy's got no teeth. The teeth would be right along here, along the maxilla bones. Yeah. Beautiful skull. Imagine digging up so many Triceratops and you're not even sure how many. That's me, Kangarooster, yeah. Oh, did somebody do the favorite dinosaur command? Those are brand new. I'm excited about that. Because dinosaur bones lurk from below. I must have missed a joke. Chat's moving too fast. This is great. They're really so beautiful. I know, right? It's gorgeous. Can't believe it. This is also the biggest print I've ever done. And I think I'm going to put it right up there, in the back corner. It's going to be pretty neat. Low saws, Thai pink, phyla. I'm all confused, Drop Bear. Is this your home or office? Yeah, this is where I live. This is my apartment. It's a dino command? What is it? Let's spam it? I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if Moobot allows you to do that. It might have, might not work if there's like more than one in a minute. You could try it. I think it's exclamation mark FAV dino for favorite dinosaur. Man, look at that. Look how broad it is. Holy cow. And this is just like solid bone in the actual fossil. Most other dinosaur skulls are they've got a lot of fenestrae, big holes and windows in them to help save weight and allow for sinuses, stuff like that, air sacs and hollows like birds have in their skulls. This guy is just solid bone. It's nuts. Beautiful, beautiful. Those spikes, these little pits here, those are attachment points for keratin. This is the same material that our fingernails are made out of. And in other animals like rhinoceroses, that forms the horn. And it formed the same kind of material in dinosaurs too. Also, bird beaks are usually made of keratin. Very nice. I'm very happy with this. This is pretty awesome. Yeah. I am thrilled. Okay, so I don't keep Leora and Eli waiting for too long. Leora and Eli, are you still here? Let me know in chat. If you had to go, then I'll know that you've left. But if you're still here, let me know and I'll sing you that song like I promised. Leora and Eli are... Leora was one of my students all year, and Eli joined her for the past 3 weeks when we did our outdoor ed camp. Spending all day out in the wilderness. Well, wilderness is a strong word. Out in nature. Looking at different plants and animals, and yes? Alright. So Leora and Eli requested that I sing them a song. So let me grab my ukulele. Hang on just a minute. And let me also look up the song lyrics and the chords because I kind of forget them. I'm not the most familiar with this song. There we go. That's the one I use. I got sand all over the desk from my sandbags. Don't want that in my keyboard. Yeah, ukulele. And wooden mouse and wooden keyboard, yeah. That's made of bamboo. I like that a lot. It's let me just move this, get all the sand off. It makes me happy having this on my desk. It's not the most, it's not a performance keyboard and mouse, but it brings me joy, and that's what matters, I think. Let's see. KirbyBot, hey, Danny, long time, I didn't see you. How you doing? I've been doing really well. I just finished up teaching on Thursday, so I'm going to see if I can stream every weekday this week. And I'm off to a good start so far, because it's Monday and I'm streaming, so see if I can keep it up. Sorry I couldn't be here again. I'm actually so sad. I'm glad you're here right now. Yeah. And you showed up at just the right time, because I'm about to sing a song for two of my students who are here. Let me tune this guy real quick. Ooh, I'm glad I chose to tune this, because this is way sharp. That's pretty nice. Oh, thanks. My E is way sharp, too. A is sharp. Usually A is pretty good. It's not often I have to tweak the A. Alright. Alright, Eli and Leo, are you ready? Okay. Oh, give me a home where the buffalo roam, where the deer and the antelope play, and Scott, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. Home, home on the range, where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. How often at night, when the heavens are bright with the light from the glittering stars, have I stood there amazed and asked as I gazed if their glory exceeds that of ours. Home, home on the range, where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day, where the air is so pure and the zephyrs so free, the breeze is so balmy and light, that I would not exchange my home on the range for all of the city so bright. Home, home on the range, where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. Oh, I love those wildflowers in this dear land of ours, the curlew I love to hear scream, and I love the wild rocks and the antelope flocks that graze on the mountainsides green. Home, home on the range, where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard A discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. All right. Thank you for singing along with me with all those emotes. Thank you, everybody. Eli and Leora, thank you for that wonderful request. And, JP Doozy, thank you so much for cheering. Awesome. Oh, that was a lot of fun. I think I had to come up with some original lyrics for that have to deal with, like, digging dinosaurs out on the prairie, because that is something that I've actually done before. When I worked in Montana, I actually, for 2 summers, I worked with an organization called the American Prairie Reserve, where they're building this enormous, like, wildlife preserve out there in eastern, northern, and central Montana. It's going to be enormous. And they called me and my colleagues out, led by Dr. Denver Fowler, to do a paleontological survey on their land. And it was a lot of fun. We got to see deer and antelope and bison and curlews and pretty much every other creature that's mentioned in that song. It was pretty magical. So, and my students are particularly fond of that song too. Eli and Leora, you like that a lot, huh? That became kind of an anthem during our school year. That and the I Am a Paleontologist song too. So, yeah. Hey, thank you for clapping. I think I'm going to have to try and highlight that singing later. Oh, no. If that's still a doable thing on Twitch, I think it is, right? You can make highlight videos. BTTV failed me. BTTV. What's BTTV? Not sure what that is. Yeah, let's get our music back going. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Eli and Leora, glad you're having a good time. Let's add on, has some more emotes to see. Hey, did I miss the singing? You did, Moldy Skank. I'm sorry. Hopefully somebody will highlight it. Better Twitch TV. Oh, gotcha. I've heard of that. The different emotes. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, Moldy Skank. I'm sure somebody will highlight it, and I'm also going to try and put this up on YouTube later as well, so you can catch that there. Just search Paleontologizing on YouTube. I was really excited because the last stream that I did, which was almost a week ago now, not too long, I felt pretty good about that one. I think I'm finally ready to start uploading these to YouTube. So I'm going to do that with this one too, barring some kind of disaster or something. Anyway, while Eli and Leora are here, I grabbed my Smilodon skull because I know they were very excited about that. I saw the last stream uploaded on YouTube. Nice, yeah. There we go. I still have yet to paint this. This before I did my Euplacephalus. This was the largest 3D print I'd ever done. Pretty cool. Smilodon calcaniformis. This is our state fossil here in California. And I actually ran out of this color filament, so I had to switch to the silver, which is why it's 2 different colors. But pretty neat. And I'm gonna paint this up all lifelike and mount it up there on top of the bookshelf. It's gonna be pretty neat. Skull would have made an awesome helmet. Yeah. Yeah, so Eli and Leora, you know all about Smilodon. We were talking all about this wonderful creature. State fossil here in California. Pretty neat, I think. It's just a beautiful piece of osteological architecture. The nares right here, one nares, like in a lot of mammals, one hole for both nostrils. There would have been cartilage separating the two, kind of like a cartilage septum, but that's not preserved in this specimen. And here's the orbits, zygomatic arch on the side there. With these enormous canine teeth. Oop. Make sure I'm holding that in front of the camera. Yeah, pretty neat. And those wonderful carnassial teeth like carnivorous mammals have. Or I should say carnivore mammals. There's a special group of mammals called the carnivorans, which not all of them are carnivores. It's kind of confusing. that's the name of the group, the carnivorans, and that's dogs and cats. It's weasels, mustelids, bears, pinnipeds, which are like seals, sea lions, walruses, otters, and all those other guys. Those are all carnivorans. Hyenas too, I think. Yeah, hyenas are carnivorans. Pretty cool. Pretty cool group of animals. And this is one of the ones with I think probably the longest canines of any carnivoran is Smilodon. There were other, like, kind of, I don't know, this is kind of a bandwagon that a lot of mammals seem to jump on during the Cenozoic. There were a lot of different groups of cats that evolved saber fangs, and even some non-cats, some creatures that weren't carnivorans at all. There's a famous marsupial cat. Marsupial cat, it's not actually a cat, it's marsupial, that evolved these long saber fangs called Thylacus milis, lived in South America. It's basically a marsupial that very badly wants to be a cat with saber fangs, and it did a pretty good job of it. But anyway, we're getting way off topic here. Love the new sub symbols and emote. I know, thank you, I'm glad you said that. I just finished those last night, and I'm pretty happy with them. Yeah, isn't that cool? Yeah, did you notice that, Eli? Got that little egg there? So if you subscribe for more than a month, then you'll have a little baby Triceratops that'll hatch. And actually, I can show you what that looks like. Pull it up on here. That's a little pixelated, because these are supposed to be very, very small. This is what it looks like. Baby Triceratops. Yeah. Could we have fit in said marsupial cat's pouch? Good question, Drop Bear. Drop bears are also marsupials, are they not? They're native to Australia. If you were very small, you could probably fit. I don't know. How tall are you, Drop Bear? A child could probably fit in that pouch. Thylacus milis is a pretty big animal, I think. You know, let's look it up while we're talking about it. Thylacus milis. Yeah, look at that weird skull. Bizarre. So it basically had like a bony sheath that would come down off its chin in order to probably help protect those saber fangs. So this is a marsupial that very badly wants to be a cat. Giant Flapjack! That is a great username. Thank you for following. I appreciate it. We are just, we're talking about Thylacus milis right now, which is this ancient marsupial from, what time was it from? I mean, just like a Oligocene or something like that? Late Miocene to Pliocene. I think the Oligocene's right in the middle of there, so yeah. So Thylacus milis looked similar to the saber-toothed cats. It was not a felid, like the well-known North American Smilodon. This guy here. But a Sprasidont. Sparacidont. Oh, that's cool. Oh, they're related to marsupials, so maybe they're not true marsupials? Let's see. They were once considered to be true marsupials, okay, but are now thought to be either a sister taxon to them or considerably distantly related. Part of a separate group of, separate clade of Gondwana and Metatherians. Interesting. There's a picture right there. There's Jay Leno chin. Kind of a sheath there for the fangs to fit into. Interesting. I'd always read that they were marsupials, so I guess... But those books are all 20 years old by now, so cool. Science relentlessly marches forward. Science! It never ceases. That's pretty cool. There's a family tree right here. That is a weird illustration. Look at that. They kind of gave it like possum fingers, like an opossum. Drop bears are legendary creatures, but if you mean koalas, then yes, they're marsupials too. Oh, okay. Thank you, Drop Bear. Sounds really cool. Actually, the emote aging, I'd be so confused if I dug up a fossil like that. Oh, God. Yeah. Science, science, science. Science. I could just pretend like doing that emote makes the sound, but you could probably see me pressing the button, so I don't think I could actually fool you. Yeah, what a weird looking creature. We don't actually know exactly what they looked like, obviously. And we only have their bones, and we don't have any very large marsupial related things walking around. The biggest we've got is what, like a red kangaroo? Yeah. Bizarre. Anywho, move my Smilodon skull away for now. Back up there. I can't get over how cool this Ankylosaur skull is. That is so neat. Man, that is awesome. We might actually be sculpting an Ankylosaur in a couple minutes. Bamboozled. Let's see. Yeah. Yes. I like that new yes emote. I mean, it seems like, I don't know. It's not the most imaginative one, but I think it'll be useful. It's the Wonkle Rex skull on there. Tyrannosaurus specimen dug up in Montana back in the early 90s. And if you ever go to the University of California Museum of Paleontology at Berkeley, or Museum of the Rockies in Bozeman, Montana, you will see the Wonkle Rex there. Oh, or the Smithsonian. The original fossils are now, they've got the skeleton all mounted and it's pulling the head off a Triceratops. Skull is mad. You think it looks angry? Is that what you're saying, Moldy Skink? Oh, you're saying this is mad. No. It's pretty cool. I'm very excited about this. Yeah, for sure. I need a what emote? Oh. I think I will take that suggestion. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Drop Bear. Storing that up here. Drop Bear is the Aussie analog of North American jackalope. I know what it is, Uncle Bill. Yeah. That is what he means by legendary. I know. They're said to have a posterior it basically looks like a sarlacc pit, right? They kind of like drop onto your head and then they eat you out of a eucalyptus tree. The jackalope is mythical. Drop bears are legendary. Okay, Drop Bear. Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh man, I could just show this off all day. I'm just gonna Vanna White this. Look, Kylosaur skull. Very neat. Oh man, I cannot wait to paint this. It's gonna use like a whole can of primer. Oh man, this is gorgeous. I might just leave it like this for a couple of weeks actually, so I can just enjoy I love this copper color filament. I'm waiting on like another 6 or 7 spools of this to show up in the mail. They're out of stock everywhere right now, but I've tried other kinds of 3D filaments. I've tried white, I've tried black. Silver works pretty well, but this is by far my favorite so far. It is very nice. Yeah, Eli with the yes emote, nice. Yeah. Drop Bear Antex is a living legend in his own lunchbox. Looks amazing. Thank you, Dr. WD40. Yeah, very happy with this. It was worth 130 hours of print time, I think. I would say so. And how many people can claim to have a Euplacephalus skull in the background of their stream? It's going to be really neat. Yeah. In Multiverse, Drop Bear is both legendary and alive. Interesting, Adam. To be fair, if I had an Ankylosaur skull mold, I would have the restraint you had and would just show it off like every single opportunity and encounter. Well, it's going to be in the background of streams from now on. Yeah. Would not have that. Plan to add the mandible? I do, yeah. Although it's an interesting thing, Dr. WD-40. In dinosaurs, it's not called a mandible. Because mammals do this weird thing where they take the bones at the back of their dentary. There's like the angular and cerangular and couple other little bones back there, and mammals have taken those and actually shifted them up to make the inner ear. So we only have like one bone in our lower jaw, and that's called the mandible. But dinosaurs had multiple bones in their lower jaw. So the one at the front is the dentary. There's the predentary. It's like the beak at the front over here. And then they've got a few other little bones in the back. But yeah, definitely working on that. Hey, Danny in California at your grandpa's. Oh, cool. Hey, good to see you, Mike. Glad you're here. Am I up on the TV right now? Hope you've been having a good time. I hope you don't mind that I didn't show up to that. I was, had outdoor ed with the kids for 3 weeks, so I had sneezy kids climbing all over me the whole time, and thought it probably wasn't wise to, show up for a family event, coronavirus and everything. Give me a couple weeks and make sure that I'm not, positive for it. Sorry, Paleontologizing. Finding the music still too loud? Oh, that's cool, Drop Bear. Thank you. No need to apologize. Let me turn it a little bit down. 58%. Let me bring it down to 51. Is that good enough, or should I put it down even further? Yeah. Oh, neat. Yeah. We understand? Oh, good. I'm glad. Yeah, I hope you had a good time. I really missed you. So, yeah. But in positive news, I spent that day getting a bicycle. It's kind of an all-day project, but I got it, and it's made me a lot more mobile. I biked down to the beach today, and yeah, things are good. Music volume still needs to go lower. Okay, I can turn a little bit down. Let's see. Let me set it to... Alright, let's try it there. I can turn it up in my headphones so that I can hear it. This is almost inaudible. Cool. Yeah, thank you, Drop Bear. Appreciate the feedback there. And I could just marvel at this all day. But rather than doing that, I think we might finish out our stream with some digital sculpting. So let's get into that. Oh, so excited about that. Grab my draw pad. And we're going to be sculpting that animal right now. I got started on it during our last stream. But we are going to be working on it even more. And I had to do it kind of blind last time. I didn't have a reference image, and now I do. So it should be a good deal easier. Let's see. There's our sculpting program. Grab my stylus. Oh. Background. And what do we got? Go. That's weird. Oh, I put it in there. Okay. I'll have it in just a sec. There we go. Alright, there's our background image. Those wooden keys, it looks so cool. They are. Yeah. It's a bamboo keyboard. Which, like I was saying earlier, it's definitely not a performance keyboard and mouse, but makes me happy. I derive a lot of joy from that. It's really cool to have like a natural material like that. Are you an artist as well? I guess you could say so. Yeah. It's actually how I used to pay the bills. So yeah, I don't know. I'm being modest. Yeah, I'm an artist, sure. Let me just grab this real quick. There we go. Okay. This is pretty crude from last time, but we're going to refine it a lot. Yeah, so I do 2D illustrations. I used to do acrylic painting. I don't really do that anymore. Digital painting, sculpting and 3D printing. I do a lot of stuff. Do illustrations for colleagues and friends, and also for my own publications. So yeah, and I used to be a graphic designer. I used to do that for a living too. Okay. So this needs some work. Let's get to it. I want to be just like you when I grew up. I'm 29, by the way. You're older than me, killer. But I appreciate. I will take that. That is like the highest compliment anybody can give. So I appreciate you. Thank you. All right. It's gonna look really goofy for a few minutes as we get the proportions and everything right here. And once again, I've made the torso too short, like I tend to do with ankylosaurs. When I draw them, I've never sculpted one before. This is the first. Like I said, it's gonna look real goofy for a minute or two, and then we will, and we'll hit our stride. Right now I'm just trying to get everything in the right place. Please slow down with me so I can catch up. Is this like a Bob Ross kind of deal where you're going to paint along with me? Happy little dinosaurs. Alright, let's work on this tail club, because that's really going to bother me. It does not look right. There we go. That's looking a little bit better. And we're going to crease this here. This is where you have the most full resume ever. Paleontologist, artist, experience with graphic design programs, experience with kids. Tell that to the hiring committees, Molly Skink. Well, I don't know. I'm really enjoying this whole streaming thing. If I can make it big with this, it's gonna be really good for me. Again, I only got started with this very recently, like May, and I'm really enjoying it. And other people seem to enjoy this too, so it's yeah, these have been good. Yeah. Eli and Leor with the emotes there. Very nice. Alright. It's a little too much. Just going to inflate this a little bit, because it's looking a little bit paltry there. And we're going to make the tail club a little bit bigger. And I forgot, Eupliocephalus actually has kind of a nodule right there on the end of its club. And what we'll do is we'll find an image of Eupliocephalus's tail club later, and I can make that very true to life. But for now, we're gonna leave it basically like this. There, that'll be fine. That was my little dig noise in Windows, by the way, so keep your seats, everybody at home. Don't worry. I like to do paleo art, just gotta start. Yeah, maybe tomorrow. Hey, it's a lot of fun. Only do it if you enjoy it. Don't do it like trying to make a living at it, because then you'll resent it. Alright, let's inflate some of this down here. Holy cow, it's after 5 o'clock already. Where does the time go? Okay. And I forgot just how far apart the forelegs and hind legs are. It looks like a weird coffee table. Yeah, Kyle shows are the coffee tables of the dinosaur world. It's 2 a.m. here. Wow, Kangaroo Rooster. Jeez. 2 a.m. Are you also in Australia, Kangaroo Rooster? I don't want to be making assumptions based on your username. Let's see, if it were 5 a.m. here on the Pacific coast of the United States. Croatia. Oh, interesting. Huh. Well, greetings from sunny California. Oh, Croatia, that's awesome. How's the weather there in Croatia? How's it been? I'd imagine it'd be warm. It's summer for you too, Northern Hemisphere. Add them all together. Oh, UK, nice. 1:12 a.m. You're staying up watching me? Flattered. Thank you. How's everything in the UK right now? How's your weather been? And also, what part of the UK, if you don't mind my asking? Alright, smooth out the neck right there. In Ireland, yeah, Moldy Skink, I remember. Nice. I'm assuming it's humid, maybe a little bit rainy and foggy in Ireland. As it always seems to be. No idea, to be honest. I don't get out much anymore. Generally summer with some stormy exceptions. Don't get out much anymore. Oh, like quarantine, yeah. Being very responsible. I appreciate that. I'm going to be doing a lot of that this week now that I don't have to teach. Don't have to teach. I really enjoy teaching. I'm making it sound like it's some sort of big chore or something. But I have been looking forward to just being able to stay in more and do these streams more often. From 90 Fahrenheit during the day to 57 and rain at night. Okay. It's not too far from what we've got going here in California. If you go inland a little bit. I'm on the coast, so that tends to regulate the temperature a bit. We don't get those crazy hot days. But if you go inland toward like Sacramento, ooh boy, it'll be hot. Alright. It's looking about right. Let's work on the skull a little bit, since we were doing that IRL. 5:13 in San Francisco. Yeah. Nice, Eli. It's 5:15 here in Oakland. Are we 2 minutes ahead of you? No, I think it just took me 2 minutes to find that in chat. Hello? Hello? How are you doing, Eli and Lyra? Oh, you're in Sacramento. It's hot. Oh, okay, killer, yeah. I imagine, yeah. I'm probably headed up that direction in the next few weeks. We'll see. Let's see some family, visit my mom. It's been a long time. Okay, and you know what I'm gonna do? Maybe I'll put the skull over here so I can use that as a reference. Danes? You mean Danny, Eli? Let's see. Maybe I can set this right up there. There we go. Nice. So you can't see it in chat, but it's right above the webcam there. And yeah, honestly though, it's on and off. This summer has been nice so far. Just some heat waves here and there. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's July already. Holy cow. I keep thinking it's like the beginning of June. I was gonna say like, oh, just wait for it. It'll get hotter, but no. July, it should be pretty hot by now. I guess we've gotten kind of lucky. Moldy Skank, haven't counted them all myself, but I hazard a guess around 50 or so. Whoa, what did I miss? Let's see. Oh, how many streamers in the Knowledge Fellowship? About 50, wow, nice. Stay safe while out traveling? Yeah, I will, absolutely. Yeah, neat. Okay. I'm gonna... So looking at the skull, the kind of ear spike is actually smaller than I remember. There we go. Pull that down. There we go. He's got a nice kind of prominent brow ridge right here. Like that. That's kind of depressed. That goes out like that. And then sink the eye into there. Not too shabby. Oh, it's a little too much. There we go. Nice. Okay, cool. So I'm glad we're entering winter here. Nice, Desornis. Yeah. Wait, Desornis, where are you from? I'm trying to remember. If you're entering winter, you're in the southern hemisphere. Is it New Zealand? I'm trying to remember. Shoot, tell me where you're from, Desornis. Something for everyone, Moldy Skank. It's not just STEM related either. Yeah, Knowledge Fellowship seems pretty cool. I'm looking forward to getting involved with that. I noticed somebody just introduced herself this morning. I was planning on doing that too, but I didn't want to.
What are you doing?
Jump in there.
Dig up dinosaurs?
Kevin Dawson, hey, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Voice just cracked. Brazil, that's right, Desornis. Nice. Yeah. Cool. There's some cool new fossils from Brazil. Brazil's gonna be important to dinosaur paleontology in the near future. Let's see. I'd like to make a trip out there sometime soon. There's some good Spinosaur material from Brazil. Which is a group that I'm working on right now, actually. And now that teaching's done for the summer, I'm finally gonna have some time to get that paper published. Looking forward to that. All right, here's a crease for the back of the skull, and grab this. There we go. It's looking good. And yeah, so I'm kind of in an impasse with the head. I can, in order to make the lower jaw, I can try to smooth all that out and then draw on a lower jaw, or I could just put a big crease there and kind of bifurcate it. And I think that's what I want to do. Because you've got the cheek there. I'm not gonna have to, yeah, okay. Yeah, this is gonna work. And I can just draw this on right here. This isn't gonna look pretty at the beginning, but we'll get there. Drop Bear, neighborhood troll of TKF. Uncle Bill, Dr. WD-40, and Rocket Sage are the founders. Neat. Yeah. It's a community project. A lot of admirable people sharing a passion for learning and make it happen. I'm so excited to become involved with TKF. That's going to be awesome. Oh, and let me, shoot, while I'm at it, let me change my stream title real quick. To Sculpting an Ankylosaur. There we go. Nice. And Eli and Lior with the Dorito emote. Is that a Dorito? It looks like it to me. You're making me hungry, you guys. Alright, oh, and before I forget, let me go ahead and reduce. I'll use my reduce brush on here before I make my computer burst into flames from too many triangles. So the way that Sculptress works, its architecture is based on these triangle shapes. And the more detail you have, the more triangles there will be, but the more difficult it is for your computer to process it. And just to be safe, I'm going to simplify a lot of the stuff because we don't really need this level of detail yet. Alright, looking good. So I can see at the bottom, 19,938. That's not very many. We're doing pretty well. But we're gonna have so many when this is done. Thyreophorans have so many different details, and different planes and surfaces, and just like all of these armor plates. Oh man, it's gonna be a lot of work. But it's gonna be worth it in the end. I'm excited to start printing some of these when we really get going with this project. Do you showcase your 3D models somewhere, Paleontologizing? Not yet. These are all going to be featured in a paper that I'm going to work on hopefully at some point in the next year. They're going to be used in a study for trying to estimate how much different dinosaurs weighed. So yeah, they will be showcased, I guess, in a journal at some point. It's going to be pretty neat. But for the time being, they are exclusive here on Twitch. Maybe I'll throw them on my website once I get that done. But we'll see. But good question. Yeah, it would be really interesting to take a gander at the models. Thank you. Yeah, well, I'll have that available at some point. It's a good idea. So right now I'm just kind of hollowing out the inside of the mouth and the throat. Like that. And do the same thing for kind of the roof of the mouth. As we saw on the skull when we were looking at it, it's very hollow in there. So we're just kind of getting this started for now. We'll make it more precise and everything later, but for right now, this is going to work out just fine. Doesn't need to be perfect. All right. Cool. And let's work on getting the shape of the skull correct. Oops, after I flatten out this part at the bottom of the mouth. Oh, bye, Dan. Hey, I'll see you later, Eli and Leora. Thank you for stopping by. I had a lot of fun talking to you. Thank you for the song request. And I'll be on tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and probably Friday, too. So if you're bored, you're not doing anything else, go ahead and tune in. It should be 4 o'clock tomorrow on Tuesday. So maybe I'll see you then. Anyway, thanks for stopping by.
So you doing?
Piano Cat, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Good to see ya. We're sculpting an ankylosaur right now. This dinosaur is called Euplacephalus. I don't know how long you've been watching, so I'm just trying to clue you in a little bit. But I just 3D printed a skull of this guy. And we were just assembling that on on stream a few minutes ago. Drop Bear Antics wants to one day see the channel title Streaming with Dinosaurs. Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. Oh, man. There might even be some merch along those lines. Streaming with Dinosaurs. And maybe instead of like the little Compsognathus on the logo just walking, it's like sitting in one of those chairs with like the seatbelt cutouts that streamers sit in. Like the stock car chairs. I still think those are really funny. Merch, sure. I want a 10% kickback though. Hey, we'll see. Honestly, you gave me the idea. All right. Or the Dinosaurs View stream, hunting/cooking stream. We will be doing that when I stream the Saurian game. It's like our dinosaur simulator. That's gonna be pretty neat. If we're super lucky, I might even start that tomorrow. But it's probably gonna take me a little longer to get my computer all set up for that. Alright, make a nice plane here along the side of the skull. Very nice. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. It's looking a lot like our skull. Scooch this part back a little bit. Looking good. Alright, I'm mostly looking at the skull up there and not at this skull on here. So let me change that a little bit. Use this as a guide. I mean, they're the same thing, but it's like different perspectives. It's definitely good to have both. Hey man, you could have it all. Wouldn't mind a free t-shirt though. We can work that out, Drop Bear. I do screen printing too. So, yeah, maybe that'll be in your nearish future. We'll see. All right, drawn on the cheek spike here. Ooh, it's starting to look like an ankylosaur. There we go. Very nice. Classic ankylosaur look. I'm almost getting that travel mug. Cool, Desornis. Hey. I just uploaded that this morning. I think that's why it's on sale. I think it's for like 72 hours after you upload something. It's like 25 or 30% off. I think it's 25% off. It's really not bad. I ordered one of those myself this morning, and a t-shirt. I can print my own t-shirts here, you know, in my apartment, but I don't have a multicolor press like that. So I don't know, I figured I might as well. It'll be cool to have. Did you design the logo yourself? It looks really clean. I did, yeah. Thank you, Moldy Skank. I don't think it looks particularly clean, but thank you. Yeah, that was a lot of fun to put together. I did that a few years ago when I only had the YouTube channel, which never really went much of anywhere. Twitch is such a better medium for me. I have so much more fun on here. And people seem to, I don't know, people seem to like my stuff. Just have to wait a bit. USD is currently 5 times my currency. Oh no. Sorry, Desornis. Yeah, it'll still be there. And I might even be doing some giveaways at some point too. With with like pin-back buttons and T-shirts and postcards and stuff like that. Because I design and print all those things. Oh, and vinyl decals. I could do those too. Yeah, like stickers for laptops and water bottles and what have you. Yeah, I was kind of dreading working on an ankylosaur like this, but it's going pretty well. I'm having a lot of fun with this. And definitely having the skull up there to look at is very helpful. Okay, let's leave the skull alone for now, and let's work on our hind legs. Look how robust those femurs are. That's nuts. And that tibia, look at that. Crazy looking. So chunky. Is that a baryonyx on the logo in the forefront? It is, yeah. Holy skin, it's one of my study animals. I really need to get that published very soon. I finally got time now that I don't have to teach. But yeah, good spot. Good old baryonyx. The coolest dinosaur to ever come out of England, in my opinion. Also, most complete dinosaur to ever come out of England, I think. Unless maybe Hypsilophodon. I'd have to look into that. Coolest dinosaur to ever come out of England, so never entered politics then, eh? Thankfully, no. It's funny, the neck is longer on these guys than I remember, too. Every time I draw them freehand, I always make the neck shorter. Yeah, interesting. Crazy. Let's see. Draw the digits on here. Look how silly that looks from the bottom. So dumb. Okay. Let's inflate this so it looks less noodly. It still looks really silly. We're working on it, chat. We're working on it. Mick Jagger is the coolest UK dino. Is Mick Jagger still around? I guess he is. I don't think he's... Yeah, wow. And let's see, I'm going to rotate those because I'm pretty sure they don't really have that kind of splay-footed walk. I think it's more like that. I'm going to bring the knee forward too, like that. And I want to say that their legs are actually tucked closer under their body than most people would imagine. Actually, that looks about right like that. but this needs to come down. Shaped more like this. That's looking a lot better. So that needs to inflate. There. Not Mick Jagger, Keith Richards. I often wonder what kind of world we're going to leave him. Right, and actually I want to say that the broadest point is kind of toward the back, like that. I think that's more like it. So these guys have crazy wide hips. Yeah. It looks like he's wearing sweatpants that are way too baggy, and like his knee is up here, but then the sweatpants are sagging down like that. So let's fix this. Because the knee should be up about there. It's the bottom of the femur. Yeah, here. So it should be just below. Or about as low as the belly hangs down. Which I can actually drop that a little bit too. Yeah, nice. And then, yeah, I'll work a little bit longer on this and then I'll think about packing it up. Because I gotta make myself some dinner and take care of some other things. Maybe get the new computer set up with all my new programs. Maybe, if I'm super lucky, we can even stream Saurian tomorrow. Yeah. Which would be super cool. There we go. What a ridiculous animal. Man, ankylosaurs were so weird. I love them. Was it the Brontosaurus that was the dino that didn't exist? Yes and no, Drop Bear, yeah. And you'll be able to OT model dinosaurs in 4D. Possibly 5D. Fourth dimension is time, right? What's the fifth dimension then? Is that like fall into a black hole or something? Theoretical physics was never my strong suit. But yeah, multi-dimensional dinos, 7D. But you can play 7-dimensional chess, but with dinosaurs as chess pieces, which I could sculpt in 3D print. But yeah, Drop Bear, so the story of Brontosaurus is a pretty convoluted one. And let me try to simplify it as best I can. Take a break from this for just a second. So with Brontosaurus, let's see, it all goes back to the 1870s and 1880s, like the Wild West period
So you
here in the United States.
dig up dinosaurs?
Oh, who was that? Hang on. Getting all distracted. How is this my name? Thank you for the follow. Hey, I appreciate that. I don't know how that's your name, but I'm glad you're here, and I think it's a good name. I think you should keep it. Yeah, Brontosaurus burgers. Maybe mistakes in dino paleontology could be a theme of a future stream. Yeah, that could be like an ongoing thing. I've been thinking about like what my recurring segments should be. Hi to you too. How is this my name? Glad you're here. Thanks for saying hi 3 times. Yeah, as you can see, we were just sculpting an ankylosaur, Euplacephalus to be specific. And then Drop Bear asked me a great question about Brontosaurus. Yeah. So back in the Wild West days of paleontology, there were these 2 American paleontologists that got into this big feud. Names were Edward Cope and Othniel Marsh. And they're both like hoity-toity East Coast guys. They would send crews out to the American West, each trying to find more spectacular fossils than the other, and naming them as quickly as they possibly could. And since it was a big competition, they got pretty sloppy with a lot of their science, and they made a lot of mistakes. So Othniel Charles Marsh found this really cool sauropod dinosaur, and he named it Apatosaurus, the deceptive lizard. Sauropods are the big long-necked plant-eating dinosaurs. Then he found a similar one, and he named it Brontosaurus, the thunder lizard. That one was a lot more complete. And that one got a lot of press attention. It's such a great name, Brontosaurus, thunder lizard. So it went for a long time. People kept using the name Brontosaurus. And then in the 1970s, there was a sauropod researcher who realized that those two dinosaurs, Apatosaurus and Brontosaurus, are actually the same thing. And so, according to the rules of zoological nomenclature, the rules that govern how we name animals, the oldest name, like if you have two names for the same creature, the older name is the one that you keep. And so that's why we use Apatosaurus instead of Brontosaurus. So it's not that Brontosaurus never existed, it's just that that name, it was a name that was given to an animal that already had a name. So we use Apatosaurus instead, which is honestly kind of a shame, because Brontosaurus is a much better name. It's just, I don't know, phonetically, Brontosaurus, it's so much more fun to say. And the name meaning, like the thunder lizard, it's so evocative that I really wish we got to keep that one. But alas, that was the rules, so yeah. Sloppy science, yeah. Sloppy science. Alternate reality, team of dinosaurs discover a collection of human fossils and assemble them completely with feet as hands and legs as arms. I would watch that stream, Moldy Skink, yeah. Brontosaurus will always be in our heart. I know. It's a good name. And some paleontologists still use it, and some actually argue that Brontosaurus, that specimen was actually of a different kind of dinosaur, so that name should still be valid. But I don't really buy that. Yeah. My childhood dreams shattered. Oh, Apato burgers and Flintstones just wouldn't sound right, huh? No. And there's a song, actually, that I would sing to my students all the time. Sing with my students, because they know it, too. And the first word in the song is Brontosaurus, and I changed it to Apatosaurus. Even though it's more correct, it doesn't really have that same ring. So, it is unfortunate. Always Brontosaurus to me? Yeah. That's okay. You guys aren't paleontologists. You don't have to use the correct name. I mean, that's a luxury. You can keep using Brontosaurus, and yeah. Anyhow, like me, I'm burdened with the official rules of zoological nomenclature. I have to use Apatosaurus. Suppose Pluto's a planet to you as well, huh? How's this my name? Yeah. Another thing that's kind of arbitrary. Anyway, let's get back to our sculpt. Let me put some finishing touches on this, then I'm gonna skedaddle. Check something real quick. Yeah. Let's work on this hind limb a little bit, and then I'll call it a day. Oh, got a question, Dazornis? Is there a consensus on quadrupedal dinosaurs' walk style? Could long-legged ones walk like camels do? How do you mean walk like camels? Like the same order in which they move their legs? Like, because we have trackways from dinosaurs and we can figure out their walk cycle. And we can also kind of figure that out just based on their anatomy, too. I don't know what you mean walk like camels. Found the singing clip? Nice, Moldy Skink, all right. That was for my students, but you're welcome to enjoy that as well. You have similar naming issues in astronomy and science? Yeah. Yeah, it's... A lot of these things are kind of arbitrary, but we need to have consensus on what we call things in order to be able to communicate well. That's why we've got rules in the first place. on one level, it doesn't really matter, but on another level, if you want to communicate clearly, you've got to be consistent. So, but yeah. Anyway, are you in astronomy? Add them all together? Not the best clip, unfortunately, Molly Skink. Want to see if I could do a better highlight. Huh. Both side legs going the same time. Yeah. So this is, let's see, let me show you. Ooh. Like that. Got bilateral symmetry going. And it helps us sculpt twice as fast. Actually, probably considerably faster than twice as fast, because, yeah, anyhow. That's the wonderful thing about this program, Sculptress. It's great for modeling organic shapes, because you can get that nice bilateral symmetry. Alright, let me take a look at the model right here. Femur. I need to make the femur longer, and the tib-fib shorter. Pull that down. Man, these guys had massive, chunky legs. That. Nice. Okay, cool. Thunder thighs. Not a pro astronomer? Who of us is? Oh, that's really cool that you're interested in astronomy, Adam. Yeah. Just talking about the camel walking. Oh, both side legs going at the same time. That's what you meant, Desornis. Yeah, I don't think dinosaurs would have walked like that. Do camels walk like... I guess they do. Like right legs, then left legs, then right legs, then left legs. Yeah, but there's no reason to think dinosaurs would have done the same thing. Yeah. Interesting thought, though. Would I have a degree? Nice, Adam. Yeah. Astronomy is really interesting. It holds a lot of things in common with paleontology, especially like from a philosophy of science standpoint, where you're always observing things in the past. I mean, not always. You can run experiments too. Like in paleontology, you can run experiments to figure things out, but it's mostly in kind of observational science. Well, even that might not be true. Maybe not mostly. There's a lot of observational science in paleontology, I should say. Astronomy is really interesting science to me. Study the stars, yeah? Yeah. What's the taxonomy of the Star Wars AT-ATs? I don't know. They look kind of mammalian, I would say. I think they were modeled after elephants, actually. Like when Phil Tippett was animating them, I'm pretty sure he looked at elephants as his model for their kind of gait and timing with the way that they move their legs. Moobot's telling me about the store too. Maybe that's too frequent. Is once every 35 minutes too much? I realize how long I'd be streaming tonight. It's almost 6 o'clock. Jeez. All right, I think that's looking pretty good for now. Let's get up close and look at that head. Skull there. And then break out the skull here. Let's see. Yeah, not too shabby. It's looking pretty good. Man, I'm so excited about this. Nice. That's so cool. It's like heavier than I would expect too. I only had it at like 5 or 10% infill. There's just still so much surface material that it's got a lot of heft to it. Yeah. Anywho, let me save this real quick. And I think that'll be... It's about time to wrap things up. So everybody here in chat, nothing better than an IRL reference point. I know, right? Yeah, that's one of the reasons I got started with sculpting in the first place, is so I could have like little maquettes that I could look at to get proportions and perspective right for my illustrations. Anyhow, let's find somebody to raid real quick. Anybody have any suggestions? It's a fun stream. Fun as always. Thank you for tolerating me too. Oh, Drop Bear, anytime. I will tolerate you any day. It's easier than you might realize. Let's see, who else is streaming? Oh, thanks, Adam, altogether. Appreciate that. Thank you for joining us. I'm so glad I got to meet you. Hope you had a good time. I'll be back tomorrow, so if you get bored, want something to look at, you know, should be here tomorrow afternoon. Or whatever time this is for you. Just fast forward 24 hours. I should be streaming then as well. I don't think we should raid Bob Ross. Bob Ross never says hi to me in chat. I always type things and he never responds. He's too busy. I don't know. Turtles and Chill. Coco. Let's do Mieki. Mikey, maybe? I root of him. Don't say that about Bob Ross. Gee, I wonder why. I don't know. It's a mystery, Drop Bear. He's usually only on the weekends too, but he paints for like all weekend. It's kind of amazing. Anyhow, yeah, let's try to raid Mikey. Mieki. I don't know how to pronounce that. But they're the bicycle messenger streamer. And let's go for it. Anyway, he's just very focused on his paintings as well. Wouldn't take it personally. Thanks, Killer. I appreciate that. Distracted by happy little trees too much. This is unacceptable. Boycott Twitch/Bob Ross. I don't know if I'd go that far, but I appreciate your enthusiasm there, Moldy Skink. See you around. See you around, Kangaroo Rooster. Anyhow, friends, thank you for joining me. I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll have some other cool stuff going on. In the meantime, stay safe, stay sane, keep on paleontologizing. All right, I'll see you around.